What's up, guys? Rick here with your Jock Market preview for this week's BMW Championship. There's breaking news off the top, but if you don't know what Jock Market is, it is essentially stock market DFS. We've been playing it for the last couple weeks. It's been awesome. There's a lot of free money available. I just really love the concept, and I think it's about to get better, if I understand this correctly. So here's the breaking news. I've obviously played on Jock Market, so I'm on the email list, and they send out this Tuesday update of everything that's going on. And there's a section in here that is entitled Cash Markets. And I'm like, cash markets? What could this possibly be? Starting next week at the Tour Championship, you are actually going to be able to invest real dollars into these shares of golfers. So normally you'd put down, 5.5 chips per share. You can actually put down $5.5 per share. And as the value of each golfer rises or falls, you are making or losing money. My brain exploded. This is how I envision kind of like fantasy stock market, for example, or sports and stock market, for example. This is how I envision it. So this is very interesting. You're not being ranked against other people. So let me just read you what is going to be coming here to Jock Market. So here are the key points that is from this email. Buy in for as much or as little as you want. Okay. There are no chips. Any trade you make is with real dollars, and any share payouts get paid out in real dollars. Great. So that means if you're the highest ranked golfer, his share price goes to 25. So if you bought Dustin Johnson last week for real cash at $12 a share and he finishes at 25, you made $13 a share on Dustin Johnson. There's no ranking against other users. You're just trying to finish the event with more money than you started. That makes sense. You're not. So compared to the regular contest, you're trying to have a more valuable portfolio than everybody else in the contest. Doesn't matter, which I like because, that means you can just maybe buy one or two shares of guys, see how it goes. You don't have to be in for a lot of money in the cash market. So that makes sense. You can join the event after the IPO closes because there's no chips, rankings. You can buy in whenever you want. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm surprised, shocked. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this works next week, especially with 30-man fields and no cut. I will probably be trading stocks all week on Jock Market here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I was not expecting that this week. I was expecting to show you some of the trades that I made during live play last week for the Northern Trust, and then talk about this week. But this was too good to pass up, especially with the way it's going to start working next week. So if I get some more information, I'll obviously pass that along, but it looks pretty cool. So next week will be very, very interesting. This week, the BMW Championship. I am going to look ahead to some golfers to potentially target, where I think value is, all that good stuff. But I promised that I would show a little in-game, a little live recording from what I did at the Northern Trust. So what I'm going to show you now is a video that I recorded, I want to say Saturday, maybe Friday night after round two, and some of the thought process that I was going through in a live setting. And then after that, I will show you and we'll talk about guys that we might want to target here in IPO for this week's BMW Championship. So be back in a second. Hope you enjoy. All right, so we are here through 2 rounds of the Northern Trust. I'm currently in 7th in the Jock Market contest that I entered this week in the 2K, so that's nice. But let's look at maybe some strategy in-game here, and I'm going to show you my holdings, which are obviously pretty good. I've got Dustin Johnson. I have 10 shares of him. I've got Daniel Berger, also 10 shares of Daniel Berger. I also have 10 shares of Sungjae Im, which we'll talk about that in a second, and I have 78 chips available. So I've got some opportunities here. Now, what I'm thinking, and I could be completely messing this up, and I don't know how to deal with Sungjae. So Sungjae misses the cut. Now, the ask for him is 1.24 chips. Am I supposed to sell Sung Jae right now? I mean, he's obviously not going to accumulate any more points or any more value, I should say, moving forward. But who's buying him? Like, I don't even know if I can sell him right now. So what I'll do after this is I'll try to sell him just so I can get more chips back that I can reinvest. But I honestly don't know if that's going to work. I actually think this is the first time I've had some of my IPO investments maybe miss the cut. So I actually have not encountered this before. So I'm going to wait and see on that. But I do have 78 chips available. So what I want to do is I want to find guys that I think are being a bit undervalued so far. So let me look at my players list here. And I actually have up, if you follow the RickRunGood YouTube channel, like you've seen this this live leaderboard before. And all I want to do is I want to search for guys that are playing well from tee to green, but might not be putting well. And the guys that first off come to mind are Matthew Wolff, who has been awesome from tee to green, but he's about average putting. So if he catches a hot putter on the weekend, I think he can make a lot of noise. And then Kevin Streelman, who's in 20th, has been lights out from tee to green. He's the 5th best in the entire field, and he's losing nearly 3 strokes putting. So if he catches a hot putter on the weekend. So those are 2 guys that I want to invest in right now, and that's my strategy for going and finding them. Now, you can see here the bid for Matthew Wolff is $955. I'm going to try to put in some, I'm going to try to buy some Matthew Wolff here, but I'm actually willing to pay more than that. So let's see. I'm trying to leave myself enough here. So if I do 10 chips at, let's do 5 shares of Matthew Wolff. We'll put this in. So we'll submit that order, and then we'll see what I can go get on Kevin Streelman, because he should be a little less expensive here. He should be more inexpensive, I guess I should say. So let's go find Kevin Streelman here. So this would be my strategy, right? I'm obviously holding Dustin Johnson because I think he's going to win the golf tournament. I'm holding on Daniel Berger because I think he's going to continue to play well, and there's room for him to improve. So I'm all good holding those guys. And here's Kevin Streelman. So the ask on, the bid on Kevin Streelman is $750. The ask is $863. I'm going to buy some Kevin Streelman here, and let's do. I'm pretty high on him. Let's do 9. And I don't know if this works the same way as IPO, where like I just get it for a penny more than whatever the offering is. I'm assuming it is. So let's do Streelman. And how much can I do? I have, I can't do 3 shares. I can do 2 shares of him. So I'm going to do 2 shares of Kevin Streelman. And then what I'll do, so that would be, there we go. I just bought 2 shares of Kevin Streelman. Perfect. So what I would do now is I'm going to try to sell those Sungjae Im shares. I don't know what's going to happen, so we'll see. Maybe I'll update that in the video for next week. But this would be how I would deal with some situations in-game during the tournament to see if there's any opportunity to kind of move my chips around that I held from the IPO stage that I did not spend so that I could buy on guys right now. All right, so hopefully that helped shed a little bit of light on maybe a little in-game strategy. I could certainly be making mistakes as this is all very new to all of us, but hope that was helpful. Let's look at this week's BMW Championship, and Dustin Johnson, of course, being your odds-on favorite. His fair value position, 8.7, meaning if you think he's going to finish in the top 8 or better, you should probably be willing to pay this 11.15 chips, which I guess next week will be $11.15. That'll be pretty cool. So we're looking for value here. So if you've watched all of the other content that I've kind of put out this week, you know that I think that Bryson is in a similar position that Dustin Johnson was in last week, in which he's just not being valued correctly for his ceiling. I think he's being more valued correctly for his floor than his ceiling. So if I think that the range of outcomes for Bryson is very large. Do I think he can finish inside the top 13 of a 69-man field now that Webb Simpson has withdrawn? Yeah, I think I certainly do. So I'm going to earmark and just bold Bryson here as a guy that I like. I mean, Daniel Berger would be pretty hard to argue not just getting Berger again. He's been phenomenal, not only since the restart, but dating back much longer than that. So I'm going to bold Berger. I don't know if we'll see. We'll see when I actually get in there. And then I want to go a little bit lower. As you can imagine, I think Matthew Wolff can surpass this 23.8 fair value finishing position. I also like Ryan Palmer as well. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to snag some shares of Joaquin Niemann. So I think the way that I want to play this is I want to take the really volatile, really high upside guys down here. Like, I don't think there's all that much incentive to buy shares of Taylor Gooch at 3.92 when his like ceiling might be T18. Well, that's fine, but like, what am I going to make? A chip a share? Like, I don't think that is all that enticing. I'm trying to get guys who are down here who they might finish last, but Joaquin Niemann, who has legitimate winning upside. We've seen him win. We've seen him contend here in the restart. He flew up the leaderboard at Heritage, I believe. So like, those are the guys I'm trying to get here. And I think that's the proper way to play this. So I'm going to earmark Niemann as well. So that gives me Niemann, Bryson, and Berger. Let's open up the Jock Market app and put some bids in on those guys. All right, so there is a free and a $5 contest again this week. I'm going to get into the $5 contest here. And we are in IPO phase, and it's a little bit later than I've recorded these videos in past weeks, so there should be a bit more action here, and there is. We're already seeing some of these prices be a lot higher. Usually I come in here right as IPO opens. So Bryson here is currently at $579. His fair value for 13.5 or better finishing position is 8.75. So if I buy, let's do 9. Let's do 9 on Bryson. And remember, he's currently 579. I won't pay 9 if I'm the highest bid. It'd just be 1 cent more than the previous highest bid. So that's what I'm willing to go on Bryson. So I'll do 9 on Bryson, and we'll take 12, try to get 12 shares of it. Maybe we'll do 10. 10, I think, is what I did last week for, I think it was Berger and Dustin Johnson. And then I got more of some of those volatile guys down at the bottom. So, throwing a couple bids on Bryson. Who else do I have here? Berger. Okay, so we'll go get Berger. And here he is. So 5.14 at the moment. Fair value is 8.42, so a little bit cheaper than Bryson is. So we'll do 875 here on Berger. And we'll do 10 shares as well. And that should leave us with about 70-ish chips to go down and get some Joaquin Niemann. Yeah, 70.73. So here's what we'll do. Niemann, his fair value 3.89. Let's see where he is. Okay, 3.6. Oh wow, so he's almost already there. Now, there's only this is Wednesday morning on the West Coast, so there's a couple of hours left essentially. It'll close tonight. IPO will close tonight. So let's do I want to get Niemann here. I think he's got significant upside. I'm going to go with 4 chips, implying a break-even rank of 27th. And then I can do, what can I do here? 17 shares? Yeah, 17 shares. So we'll be all in on these guys. Now, when IPO finishes, I will, assuming I win some of these shares and I did not have to pay the full price, I might get some chips back. So keep that in mind. I'll check this later after IPO closes tonight and see if I have any chips available that I want to buy before the tournament actually starts. So there is so much going on in this jock market, stock market, fantasy world, it's compelling to me. And then especially next week when you add the wrinkle of real money, like I feel like we're gonna have to start over and be like, okay, how do I want to think about this differently? Because you might only want to buy one share of a golfer or like one golfer. You might only want to buy shares of one golfer who you think is going to win. I love it. I love it. So we'll do it again next week. There'll be a lot more interesting things to talk about and different things in terms of real money. But this is really, really cool. I hope you go and play. Yeah, that's it. Tweet me at RickRunGood. Leave a comment below. Later.